Well, hello, everybody. Alejandro's still dancing. The music will stop. Alejandro's still dancing.
We
I
had to
love it.
smile. We had
I
to smile.
really love watching you guys backstage because everyone's got some sort of like groove going on
Movement
their
going
own.
on.
Welcome to our TokiTV, our Sunday gathering for Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut each and every week. Thank you all for being with us. This week, today is January the 8th. Can you believe that? Seriously? Wow. Okay. So yeah, thank you for being with us. Some people know the drill. Thank you, Tamala. Write your name in the chat. Let us know who you are and where you are watching from. We're all very happy that you're here with us today. And before we start, let's get ourselves centered. And like we always do when we have our very special guest, Squil-le-he-le, with us, we're going to open up for this cultural piece with us today, and by sharing the Lummi National Anthem, the flood song. So as we breathe in deeply, hold, breathe out deeply. We're going to do that breathing in peace, breathing out love, and we're going to do that while we listen to the song. So if you're comfortable, close your eyes and let's just get ourselves centered. Here we go. Thank you. You're going to see a lot of people on the screen today, and we've invited Terry to join us today. Terry, thank you for being with us. She hasn't been on the show before, but she was with us this week where we're going to be talking lots about the ceremony that we had. But to get ourselves started in check-ins, let's start first with Squil-le-he-le. Raynell Morris, thank you for being with us. How are you today? Oops, I muted you. I'm so sorry. Go ahead. That was me. My bad.
I want to say hi, Scott, to you, Annette, and the rest of the TokiTV team for always keeping Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut, our relative, on everybody's mind for good energy, for love, for prayer. So hi, Scott, for doing that. And I am still sparkling from this past cultural prayer event.
This is beautiful. And I am too. I came home. You guys can hear me. I sound a little funny. I caught a little bit of a cold. It's not because I went jumping in the ocean or anything, but I'm still feeling the same, just really blessed, still feeling the blessings from that. Christina, how are you?
I am great. I'm high vibrations everywhere, sparkles, feeling really good, feeling shifts happening, and much gratitude to everyone, all of you, everyone. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Deb Cruz?
Moving right along.
Love you, Deb. Deborah?
I am so good. Same as everybody else. I'm still having a really hard time getting grounded. It's kind of cold to go sit by the water, but so honored to just be here holding space with so many beautiful people around the world, holding space for our beloved Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut. Thank you for just allowing me to be here.
Thank you. And Susan, I just want to give a shout out. Susan Bird is watching. And I know Howard is trying to get on and he's having some laptop issues. So Susan and Howie, just saying. Susan and Howie, we love you. And Howard, I hope we see your face on here very soon. Alejandro, how are you? You're muted on your own this time.
So happy to be part of the TokiTV show. Just, today I share the report and message from the Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut.org that brings a lot of hope in 2023 just to bring Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut home. And yesterday I had an interview in America TV, and I keep promoting the lamination efforts to bring Toki to Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut. And I told them, listen, guys, it's coming home, so you will call me back to do another interview. And they were laughing at me, but I was right, So I encourage everyone to keep going. We're going to bring her back home, 2023.
We are definitely going to bring her back home. Definitely. And Terry, thank you again for being with us first time. How are you? How are you today?
Oh, I'm just so honored to be here. I feel like I'm amongst giants, and the same thing that was mentioned about it's a little bit hard to reground after such a powerful experience on the beach there, the prayer ceremony. And I just feel more than ever that we're just getting closer and closer to bringing her home. So yeah, thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you. And we have a very special guest with us backstage. It seems as his video is getting paused, so I'm going to try to add him to the screen, but oops, he just fell off. David is trying to join us, and you guys definitely want to talk to David here in a little bit, but he was having a little bit of connection issues. So Raynell, do you mind to just tell the folks, I think most people are aware of what we did, but for those that aren't, what was the ceremony about we just did?
Well, I just want to raise my hands in love and respect to all the ancestors that guide me through this work. I wouldn't know in what order and what needed to happen if they weren't guiding me. So I'm grateful, humbled, and honored that they chose to work through me in this. So what happened on January 3rd was a commitment to Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut when I went and prayed with her on December 14th to tell her the news about Mr. Elbar saying that he would support her return to the Salish Sea if the vets and the agencies gave their thumbs up, he would support it as well. So I shared that message with her and talked to her about the importance of her readying herself and telling her, I know you're traveling, and I'm just going to ask you to be particular about what you're spending your energy on, that you need to focus on yourself, and for her to allow us to do that other work so she can focus on building strength in her spirit. She can build strength in her body, her physical, and that those of us that have joined this connection with her would take care of that other work, and that she needs to focus on herself, and that I would carry the message back to her mother ocean sun, to Squil-le-he-le, her other relatives, the other orcas, that she is readying herself to come home. So that was an important message to carry. And so it evolved to be that January 3rd was the date, as Ancestors is clearing her path and putting all the people there that needed to be there at this spiritual prayer and cultural event were there. And the Toki prayer warriors came here to her homeland, to the Lakhtamish people's homeland, and stood on the beach of Witchiakan, Cherry Point, to do this work and stand in unity and gather in this prayer and delivering of this message. And my good friend, who has very strong energy, and there he is, David, had agreed to lead us in prayer. And the Bob family youth came to sing and drum to Squil-le-he-le, to Ocean Sun. And it was just important that the way Ancestors told me, they brought the right people to the beach to be a part of it. I'm so humbled.
Thank you.
And so everything was just brilliant and sparkling, and the aura from everyone on that beach. It was just so magical. And so if I could ask David to share the prayer work and kind of walk those that weren't able to watch the live stream or hear the audio, just what you did on the beach.
I think David might be having some tech issues. And David, yeah, he just fell off. I'll message him and tell him when he comes back. Maybe if he puts his video off, we'll be able to hear his words. You know, one thing I want to share, and I verified with Howard this morning. And see, every time I say Howard, then Howard. Every time. This is just awesome. I was just about to share that I verified with you, but maybe you could tell us who was gathering while we were gathering, Howard.
Are you watching live?
Yes. Yes, I can. I can also talk to Susan across the room so she can turn down her audio so that we don't have an echo. Anyway, what I know from scattered reports, and Susan actually saw them on Tuesday morning about 9 o'clock. They were pretty scattered, J, K, and L pods, I believe, at least members of each, because some were seen, you know, there aren't boats out on the water that are getting good IDs, so it's just scattered reports from shore. But it sounded like J, K, and L pods went down Admiralty in a long procession by miles and went into Puget Sound, into the north part of Puget Sound, not as far as Seattle, if you know the territory, and then apparently kind of meandered around for the middle of the day, and then they all left slowly north up Admiralty Inlet toward Cherry Point, toward Lummi. I mean, in that direction. I don't know where they went, but that was the reports that we had. So they left around 3 o'clock roughly, and headed north. So they were there, and I sent you that photo of L25 Ocean Sun, who was among them. So she is right in there with them, looking good. There it is by Jamie Cantrell. That was taken from near Port Townsend, right, actually from Point Wilson, which is the lighthouse right at the north end of Admiralty Inlet, and that's looking over to Eby's Landing. So there she is, looking good, keeping up with all the rest of them at 90 or so, give or take 5 years. So that tells us what Toki can do.
So awesome. And, it's not like they were going to get the message, that was the point. They were there to receive the message from Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut through Raynell, through the ceremony, but they gathered together to receive it. And that is so powerful. They were going to get the message.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well,
But do you get the enormity of that? I mean, and it's not surprising because we know that that's how that works, but that is so incredible. If you just sit with that for a minute, from wherever they were, whatever they were doing, they did what we did, and they all came together to receive that message together. And I just want us to just be with that for a second, because every time I'm just filled with this gratitude for the connection and the love and the just how connected they are to us and to her. And Raynell, just Haishka to you for bringing us together to be able to share this experience with them. So thank you very much for that.
Well, it's not my Haishka to take. It's ancestors.
Yes. And I am very happy that you were chosen. Very happy. Let's see. I think we got a good connection there. David,
Hey,
I can see you moving now and you're in color. So that's good. Hi, welcome.
hi, welcome. Looks like your prayers pulled me in. Thank you. Absolutely.
Hi, David. So everyone, this is David, and David, our hope was that, and you guys probably all saw him on the live stream for the ceremony, leading the ceremony. And I don't know if you heard, the audio was not good. I shouldn't say the audio was not good. The audio was perfect because we heard the beautiful waves coming in from the ocean, hitting the rocks. But people didn't hear your words, so we were hoping maybe you could share a little bit with us about what was said in the ceremony.
Absolutely. Allowing me, please, to introduce myself, Sk'aliCh'elh, White Star. I walk as an elder and a Chanupa carrier and a lodge keeper, and I guess I wear many hats. Sending salutations to the elders in the room. Thank you so much, Raylene. Can't say enough. So it was interesting, the story. Even getting there, me and my wife were drawn to Lemmy Island to spend, 3 days anchored in with Julie Trimmingham. I know a bunch of you even know her. She offered her amazing space there on the island. And because her and I have a long history of friendship, and she comes to see me sometimes for the work I do. And so we got away. And on the way there, I don't even know if I contacted Raylene or she contacted me. And, before I knew it, the trip was about ceremony. I knew it was before I left because I remembered to bring my bundle with me. And so the bundle that I carry is very interesting. It's actually the Star Nation bundle. The pipe, or how, whatever wording or terminology you want to throw at it, Chanupa, is very. But this is a sacred tool that ultimately, is a cell phone to God, cell phone creator. It it takes what we call the profanity of man and turns it into something that can be heard by the universe, if you like. The profanity of man, because ultimately we don't have the words to truly speak what's in our heart, do we? Really? I mean, even this, and especially this mongrel language of English, right? We think we're so sophisticated, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, with all these amazing, powerful words. But really, even in comparison to the Sumerians, who their language had 400 characters, compared to our 26 characters, ultimately this language of English, we're kind of merrily still grunting at one another. We don't have the sophistication, the ancient languages, like the Lummi language, like the Cree, like these languages, even the Germanic languages and those ancient tongues have power, have juice, but even they, don't really, have that same power, that same energy. And so what happens is you bring the smoke through this sacred object representing the divine masculine, divine feminine, which is the bowl, and the divine masculine, and they come together in that sacred union. And then you bring the smoke through there, which represents spirit. And that spirit, through the alchemy of fire and change and shifting. And on that pipe, if you had an opportunity to take a good look at it, on the stem is literally carved into it the language of the Star Nation people, carried forward and then future, and then later on, gathered and put together by Golden Chief Light Eagle of the Lakota Sioux Nation. And so the language is there, and so the whole idea is to bring that spirit, that smoke, up to the tip of your tongue. And on the tip of your tongue is where you keep that, your hopes, your dreams, that part of your heart that needs to be spoken. But again, we're merely grunting at one another, in that process. I happen to know dolphins and whales communicate, especially dolphins, with holographics. They'll send you a whole book in an image that you can feel and taste and understand, And so the whole point of bringing that particular tool is, one, to be able to open up this, if you like, stargate of communication, a direct cell phone to not just us and, this amazing person, from beneath the waters, right? Some of the teachings go as far back as the days of Lemuria, where rumor has it, when Lemuria was in its place where it knew there was going to be this climate change to cause all these changes happening, but they also knew that because of this mad experiment that we've all been through that ended in December 21st, 2012, they were going to dumb down, and they buried their crystals and such. Some of those souls choose to be beneath the waters, and they chose fins, and some of those souls choose feet, I can honestly say that as I've traveled the world, I was born with these connections, if you like, this ability to do metaphysically. A dog is smart, an elephant smart, and a giraffe is smart. But I swear to goodness, when I connect with dolphin and whale, I know I'm dealing with the I am presence. They're cognitive, they're aware, they're self-aware. Sometimes dolphins are smarter than us, mortgages and, the rest of it, and so I have history as well working with dolphins, and of course, I don't know if everyone knows this, but the orca whale is designated actually as the largest dolphin. It's the majestic, it's the king, it's the, it's not even just a lion, it's almost the dragon of the sea, if you like, that thing with that wisdom, And here I am rambling away, but ultimately what we're doing is accessing this. This consciousness, and we had a tool, this chanupa, that allowed us to do so. And so what I did was, before we got there, I opened it up in a clean, healthy environment, and packed it in that good way, and sang that song itself. When we gathered there, I had first taken everybody through, if you like, a directions meditation. And I'll just real quick paraphrase that if someone's jotting all this stuff down, because some people do. We went to the east, and we honored that. The direction is yellow and power and new beginnings and new ideas. And then we went to the south, and that was about the warrior and the red and about getting stuff done. And we went to the west, and that's about the emperor, the king. The color is often black, and then we went to the north, and the elder and the white, and the mystery. And then we went to the great beneath, the underneath, and that's usually a green, and that's represented as Gaia, divine feminine. And then we went to the outer and the above, and that's represented as gold, the the masculine, the sun, the source. And then we went within, and that's the gold, and that's ourself. And then we went, of course, to recognizing all the ancestors and all the elders and all of that happens beyond our spectrum and our physical awareness, if you sometimes even, And so when we do that within ourselves, we become Stargate. In my teachings, it's been told to me plenty of times, if I got the pipe, all I have to do is grab a rock and a stick, and I am the pipe. And through extension, we are the pipe. Matako Ice and all my relations, we're all connected in that way. And for me, this journey with this particular person, Lolita, it began a while back. I know Raylene and I talked about it years ago, even in the very first anchor in. I think it was even during a conversation you were having. One of the things I bring to the table, both good and bad, as sometimes occurs for me, is that when my clients are talking to me about their issues, I actually download, I actually receive and connect. And I swear to goodness, I am in constant contact with every dolphin I've ever had conversation with. Constant. Even just thinking about them right now, I guarantee Lucy is going, whoa, what's he up to now? Right? So, it's like her Facebook profile dinger went off and, hey, David's thinking about you. This is the connection that we have. And this is scientifically proven stuff way back in some of the dolphin work. And I'm anchoring, again, I share these stories on purpose and I'm paraphrasing them. They're wonderful if you want to sit around a fire sometime. But I worked with this woman who cared for the dolphins who were actually in West Edmonton Mall in Edmonton up here. It's definitely landlocked, -40, etc. Not a place for dolphins. And she came to me because she started experiencing contact, the connection. They were reaching out to her, and this had nothing to do with what she learned in the classroom. That's for sure. And so we actually established some protocols where she would, of course, on the surface by the pool, wave her arms and blow her whistle, and they would do their tricks, to perform and to exercise and all that. And then she went down to her office, which was literally like 2 stories and full of concrete, and there was no way they had any visual or even sound contact with her. And she, in the middle of her office, on purpose, connected with her mind with them, and then blew her whistle and went through the exercise. And on the surface, they were able to film that those dolphins performed exactly as she directed them to. Through all that concrete, through the mind, contact through. And that little experiment, of course, exploded into something so much bigger. And, it led to, and then, again, that was just a very small part of the seed that gets planted, but it led to where right now India, declares dolphin kind as having the same rights on this planet as humans. That's big. That's really, really big. And so this is what we're connecting to. This is what I was, through my prayers, if you like, bringing, is that connection that we all have to that place within inside all of us. The reason why this is so damn important is because we're actually fighting for us. I'll also share with you that through that experience of the dolphins in the West Edmonton Mall, I learned firsthand that when a dolphin and or a whale doesn't want to be there, it will just die. It will just choose to. It told all of us very clearly. There was 4 of them that were left at the time, and one of them made it very clear that, no, my job's not to move forward. They were talking about moving them on and finding a new source, a new place for them there. And 2 of them died, and because they didn't want to make the transition. They had come to, and they had volunteered to be ambassadors at this place that was landlocked. They had chosen to be there for not just the fans and the wooing tourists and all that stuff, but they knew they were making connections. They knew that they were there as ambassadors, showing things to these flatlanders, that may not ever have a chance. I heard stories of people walking into that mall and literally hearing them and being called, and just a few moments changed their lives. Just to be in the presence, of this captive dolphin who's doing the work ultimately, and I share these things because that's in my heart. When I stopped and said my words aren't enough, read my heart, I was broadcasting all of this and more into that space. Then I went to, and I blew the whistle. And that whistle, to be honest, I earned in ceremony and in brotherhood from Anton George, who's Lummi, an amazing man. He'll be a brother till both of us pass away, and then probably on the other side we'll be, journeying as well. And I blew that whistle in total 28 times, of course, 4 times for each of the 7 directions, as we went in anchoring in that medicine. So the teachings behind the whistle are that whatever the sound touches receives the benefit of the attention of the creator. And in that attention, there are some things that can be assumed, such as health, sacred, protection, goodwill, what abundance, all of these things. So again, for those moments, you have the attention and all the benevolence of the creator. And what that does ultimately is, as I travel around the world with this bundle, doing the work I do, all I have to do is blow that whistle in that good way, and I have a church. And it's a church, not the square building, of course, but something so much more. And everything that sound touches receives life, universal life energy, if you like. And so we woke up that whole space, we connected, even just being on that space of between the land and the water is very, very, very sacred. And I know I'm singing to the choir, to the Lummi Nation here, but that's a very sacred place to be, for sure. Answering in and to the turtle totem very specifically there's a lot that can be taught to us there, in that. But so this is what we were up to, I originally had chosen in my mind to sing the water song, because there we are. And in the moment, of course, Spirit, puts a new song on the tray in front of you and says, no, you're singing this one. And so I did it. I did sing the Male Warrior song. And it's interesting because even watching the video myself in reverse, and I reviewed it afterwards, it was such an energetic and such a big song. The only thing I would have done differently is I should have maybe sung it out to the waters. And so I could really let it go in such a big, powerful way. But the idea is to be heard. That Male Warrior song, when I was working with international Indigenous leadership gathering work, the Bob family, actually, Daryl Bob and everybody up there, well, they did that amazing work for a decade. When I was up there, I was gifted that song to use for Stargate. In other words, yes, Male Warrior song and all the teachings behind it, but when you breathe it, when you sing that song specifically, you step into breath work that opens up your Merkaba, that opens up you become a Stargate again, right? And so one way or another, what I wanted to do was everybody on that beach, in whatever language that reached them, was to open them up. The rest, that's on you. Whether it was just hey, that's neat, or whether it was, the deepest, most powerful thing you've ever had in your life. That's about your dance with the universe. But I promise the spirit work that was laid there was a place of safety, a place of sanctuary, a place of connection, a place where you got to be and maybe see and maybe even get introduced to your authentic self for the first time in a while. Have you noticed it's a pretty crazy world out there? Things are changing. And, the prophecies are clear that, at this time of transition, the draconian systems get dismantled, the banks and the politics and it's all kind of going away. And I look forward to a time when that border between us is completely ignored, as much as I ignore it most of the time anyway. And we're heading into this powerful time of transition. And I believe the work we're doing here right now is a part of that. Is a part of recognizing our family beneath the waters, of a part of recognizing Matakoayasin, that we are all connected. We're all source. We're all that one thing. And like I posted on the Facebook there that, it's about the children, no matter whether they look like us or not, right? And I swear to goodness, every part of my fiber and my being knows, this doesn't, not just a belief, but knows when I'm talking to dolphin kind and whales, I'm talking to cousins. It's not just a word, hey, cousin, how's it going? It's not, it's deeper than that. It's real, and so that's why I'm here, because I actually believe that Lolita, if you like, is an ambassador, just like those dolphins were in West Edmonton Mall. And the work we do here is, yes, for her and championing her, but the world is watching. The world watched that totem pole go down there. Don't kid yourself. They paid attention. They even made the news. That's something today's day and age, totally. And so don't kid yourself. The word's getting out. And if that word literally gets out there on a whale song, all the better. you know, because again, it's beyond words, right? But it's something we all understand, you know, totally. So here I've rambled for this long. I'm sorry. I'm an elder. I can carry on for days, but that's kind of a paraphrase version of what I was up to on the beach there. You know, thank you.
I don't think you rambled. It's fascinating and it's all relevant. So David, thank you for holding that space for all of us on that day, and for everyone that, you know, watched from home. It's not just us who were standing on the beach. We were connected with everyone who watched and who will watch the replay. And thank you for that, because on the video, you know, you're seeing it and we kind of hear you. So if you guys watching from home have not seen the live, go back through our page, the Orca Network Lolita Tokitai page group, and watch the live stream and hear the song that David was talking about, because that you can hear. And the song that you sang came through clearly. So thank you for that. I do have a couple of clips of songs from the Bob family, but Raynell, I just want to check in with you first to see if there's anything you want to say before I show any of that.
Well, hi, David, for bringing your gifts and sharing them with all of us. And I am always amazed and so grateful to ancestors for putting the people in Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut's path that are critical to her moving forward, and that connection that we have to ancestor on that beach. And what they've shared with me is they love to hear. It makes them feel good to feel connected to us, to hear our traditional song, to hear the traditional drumming, in particular from the youth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's extra special that it came from the youth. And they did just that. They sang over the water. And there were parts when they're singing that if you looked in between the islands, you could see forever. It didn't stop. It just went on forever. And ancestors' happiness with that work and with that song was evident. With the rays of the sun, they were just letting everyone know they were present. They appreciated their traditional work done in a good way. And so would like to hear the clips, Annette.
Okay, let's play this one. I'm not sure why it's not playing. Hold on real quick. Let's try that again. Okay, Alejandro, can you sing while I get this figured out? Alejandro doesn't want to sing. You're muted, Alejandro. Hold on real quick, guys. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. But what I can share is the honor of these young Bob family relatives. This is the first time they sang without adults. So it was historical for them. It was powerful to ancestors. And I was so honored for them to gather and do that work for us, with us, for Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut, for ancestors.
Trying one more time. wanted to put in just a few stills and a few, videos from just a couple of, the folks who did get up and speak and who weren't on the live stream, like Uncle Doug and Freddie. We did get to hear from Siamuet on the live stream, which I'm really happy about. But everyone there was such powerful words, such powerful energy, such powerful love in that ceremony. So Haishka again, Raynell, David, ancestors for setting that up and so beautifully to where we were all there gathered. And David, I'm sure you heard there, I don't know if you heard at the beginning of the show, but Howard was giving us a report on, the super pod and how they all gathered at the time that we were gathering.
I did catch that. That's and again, no surprise to me. I honestly was anticipating them to breach at some point in sight. If you know how many times it's just the way it works, and in Indian country, they just say, "Oh, good, it's working." So if they didn't come closer, I would have been more surprised. Do you understand? Right? Like it's just how it is. It's matter of fact, for sure. And so let's honor that. Absolutely. That's great to hear. And I bet you if we would have stuck around a little longer, I'm sure they would have caught up with us, for sure. They were probably hunting. Where's that coming from, right? So, totally. I can hear the drums. Where is that? For sure.
Yeah. And I think they set it up for us. I mean, they were gathering at 9 a.m. I think they were setting the tone for us and, laying that foundation. Freddie, we all love Freddie. If you haven't heard Freddie, you should. But Freddie's my dear friend, and I'm trying to find. I took a quick video, a clip from what he said because I think it's important, and he shared with some of us, I think, in person before, but he had not shared it publicly, and so I'm just going to play that for you guys real quick.
So, long story short, the little boy, he wanted to go live with the Cohomishkin people. The people that live under the water. They live under those waves. They're our relatives. They're not blackfish. It's not a bedtime story. They're not killer whales. They're not orcas. They're the Cohomishkin. They are the people that live under the water. Those are your relatives. These are the words that the chief shared with me, and I have to share them with you, just so you understand a little better why we've done this work, why it's not just one man, one woman, one group. It's all of us bringing her home. And I don't know too many signs when I see them, but it doesn't take, anyone without faith. And I just want to reiterate what I shared with Siamuet and Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut and over this journey, that in his last days, the chief said to me, and I don't share this very much, never shared it publicly, but he laid his head down and he just hugged me, and then he looked up at me, and he said, Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut's not going to come home in my lifetime, but she'll come home in yours.
Yep. There's not much to say after that, but she is coming home. She is coming home.
I would just like to say hi to David and to all of us. But David, thank you so much for sharing your gift, your wisdom, your understanding. It resonates with everything I've learned and seen and experienced over the years, and it's completely consistent with that, hardcore matter-of-fact science of the neuroanatomy, the paralimbic lobe, the enhanced empathic capabilities, and it can be seen from many different directions. it's not one causes the other. They are all the phenomenon. They're all the reality that we see and experience, and you're very well tuned in. So appreciate hearing
And
from you.
like Freddie says, we're all bringing our own medicine, and it sounds like we're on the same team, sir.
Yes.
I'll do my thing. Thank you. I honor, I see you too. I honor what you may see in me, because if you spot it, that means you got it, right? And so you're walking with some of that of your own. And so keep doing more of that. If you like what you see, I'm just trying to be me. I'm being authentic. This is just me showing up like her lumpet, right? And, just keep doing more of that, and that's I think the greatest teaching, that our friends beneath the waters can teach us, right? Is they're just living life, right? They don't have mortgages. They don't have, they have all the other stuff we have to worry about, pecking order and dating and, all of that's normal too, I promise, right? So, but us feeded person, we can confuse things sometimes, for sure. And so I think it's just about being authentic, including the mind. I hear your mind. I hear that you like to have things sorted out that way. And I think that's without the whole medicine wheel, you get a flat tire, And so it's important to have all of it, the emotion, the mind, the action, the heart, right? If it's all there, we got something, right? For sure. So thanks for showing up and holding your end of the wheel. Totally.
That's awesome, David. And just the fact that Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut has reached out to so many people and brought us all here. So those on the screen, those on the beach, the 1,000 views that we get each week, like it's like you said, like it's we're all connected. We know that it's unexplainable, yet it's so explainable. It's so, I mean, just like when I met you on the beach and I'm like, I know you. And, you hugged me and you were like, oh, I met you at Canoe Journeys. And I'm like, wow, like that's a good memory. That was like 4 or 5 years ago. And David said, I might forget a name, but I never forget energy. And that's true. And so we've all met before, we've all traveled before, and we're traveling again now for this particular reason. And Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut has definitely brought us all together. And I am super grateful. Just super grateful for all of you. Thank you guys all so much for being on here. We're getting close to getting towards the end, so I just want to check in with each person, and we'll start with Deb Cruz because we know she talks on and on and on. But Deb Cruz, is there any final thing you want to say? I think Deb Cruz might be frozen, actually.
No, I'm muted.
Okay, I was like, or she's pretending to be frozen. I don't know.
No,
on purpose.
love you all.
Love you too, Deb. Love you too, Deb. Deborah?
Just the same thing. After watching this video today, now I understand why I can't get grounded, and so honored to be holding space with all of you. All of you. Itakuiyasu.
Christina?
I think I'm having a life-changing experience. Really, the ceremony was amazing, and I was very drawn to the pipe. Actually, I've been dreaming of it since then, every single night, and it's like the symbols are dancing, and so I have a frog in my throat. So I just want to say I love you all and thank you. I'm sure I'll have more things to say later, but right now I'm just in awe. So
Thank you. Terry, your first time on the show, how was that for you?
Well, it's so deeply moving to see all of you, and then to have met so many of you on the beach, and to have that connection and to feel like I already knew you even beyond our connection here, with our meetings. And I think TokiTV is the one who has brought us all together. And I think between her and all the pieces here, all of us who are showing up everywhere. And with her family, I feel it as if we could step into the next day and she will be coming home. It is so real and so clear. So thank you, everyone who's here. I'm just so honored.
Thanks, Terry. Thanks, Terry. And Howard?
Well, I can only echo and amplify what I'm hearing from everyone here. I am so grateful, and I feel the formation that we're all going through, and that it is kind of unified by our love for Toki. That she represents so much. She is so much. She is such a empathic and in tune being. She knows what is going on. She is so in tune with the people and the feelings, the understandings that people have of her. She knows. She feels that, and I think we can feel her connection with us, and that brings us to a whole new level. And yes, Christina, it's a life-changing experience.
Yeah, for sure. Alejandro?
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, David, for sharing this amazing information. What I feel is that these orcas were there present because they know Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut is coming home. They know very well. And as an animal rights advocate, what I feel is Tokita is an angel, and she will open the doors to many other animals that lives in captivity these days. She's an angel. She came to this world to leave us a message. She's a big spirit. She's a lamination spirit. And thank you to the ancestors. Thank you to everyone to make this dream possible. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Alejandro. David, any final words?
Oh my, I mean, yeah, I'm an elder. I talk forever. Yeah, but I think, again, the profanity of man, there aren't the words really to truly express the work that I'm seeing and witnessing and participating in. And I guess I want to just end with to be continued. We're just getting warmed up here. All the players are just coming to the team, totally.
To be continued. And I always, when we have Raynell on the show, like to close with you, Raynell. I do want to show just a couple of pictures real quick because I forgot to show these. So just a few pictures from the beach there, and you could just see how much love was present there on that day. And so just want to share that. This was actually the following day when Raynell and I went back. But this picture, look at how beautiful. The lighting, everything, the sky, so gorgeous. And I want to end with this picture because we wanted to make sure we had a group photo, and I didn't have my stand up. So we wanted to, but just shows how much love was present there on that beach that day. And Raynell, before we're going to close with the Bob family singing the flood song, but closing words from you, Raynell.
Well, I'm always humbled that ancestors have chosen to work through me. And, I'm a human, so I need affirmation. I'm still nervous. Did I do it right? Did I do everything? And having Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut gather, having the brilliance of the sparkles in the sky that day was ancestors telling me everything was done in a good way. Everything was done that should have been done. And we're grateful. They were grateful for the song. They were grateful for the prayers. They were grateful for all the love. And I'm honored that we were able to do it in their way and to honor what they were trying to direct me to do, that I got it. And I'm also told that 2023 is the year of Quithology and reconciliation. This is the year. It is about Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut coming home, but it's about healing all of the whale people. It's about healing all the Lactamish people. It's about healing the salmon. It's about healing all of us. So I'm so grateful. Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut.
This is going to give me a hard time again. So let me, I have to reload it actually. Give me 1 second. Remove that.
For those
So
of
the
you,
last picture that you saw of Annette and I on the beach was us going back to Wichiakan to give gratitude. You know, I know it's not my log, but I always say my log. We sat on my log with our hands up and open, out to the water, out to ancestors, raised in gratitude.
I want to just throw out there that picture of that amazing goddess, the Asian lady there, is my wife, Luna. And
Luna's so cool.
yeah, and so I just thought I'd throw that out so people who knew who she was.